Okay, let's discuss the packaging methods. We'll deal with packaging method 1 and packaging method 2. Packaging method 1 and packaging method 2. And then if time allows me, that will do a small example. Okay, here, packaging method 1, you have to understand that we have the lengthwise option, lengthwise method. Lengthwise here, the length of a small box is pegged along the length of a large box. The length of a small box is pegged along the length of a large box. That's what you have to understand there. Then let me try to do some illustrations. This here is the large box, as you can see here, the large box. This is the length of that large box, the breadth or the width of the large box, and this is the height of the large box. So if you are arranging it using this method, using the lengthwise method of packaging 1, you have to align it here, the length of a small box aligned here with the length of a large box, just like this. This is the length, this is the width, and this is the height, just like that. So widthwise on packaging method 1, widthwise, here you have to understand that the width of a small box is pegged along the width of a large box. That's what goes on there. So here is the large box. Here is the width of the large box, the dimensions of the large box. Let me try to fix my pen so that I will draw things that are clear. Okay, let me try to fix here. It is like this, arranged like this. So here we have the width, here we have the length, and here we have the height. So the width of a small box, here it is, aligned with the width of a large box. Width, length, height. That's it there. So on packaging method 2, packaging method 2. We did not discuss the height wise, but I believe you understand that also the height of a small box is pegged along the height of a large box. So let's discuss packaging method 2. Here, when we talk about the lengthwise option, you have to understand that the width of a small box is pegged along the length of a large box. If I could help you with the calculations here, so that someone could understand, if I could help you with the calculations here on packaging method 1, the lengthwise option, where the length of a small box is pegged along the length of a large box, the calculations will be length of large box divided by length of small box. That's how you calculate it. So here on the widthwise, the width of large box divided by the width of small box. Also on the height of a large box divided by the height of the small box. So I just wanted to illustrate that one. So on packaging method 2, where the width of a small box is pegged along the length of a large box, it appears like this. Here is the large box, as you can see it. This is the length, this is the width, and this is the height. So a small box will be pegged like this. The width of a small box pegged along the length of a small box. This is the width, this is the length, and this is the height, as you can see there. So the calculations on this one will be length of large box divided by width of a small box. I believe you understand that one. So here on the widthwise option of method 2, widthwise. The widthwise option, you have to understand that the length of a small box, length of a small box is pegged along the width of a large box. Just like this, here is the width of a large box. Here is the width of a large box with the other dimensions. The width is here, the length is here, and the height is here. So here, the length of the small box is pegged along the width of a large box, meaning the calculations will be something like width, it will be the width of large box, width of large box divided by length of small box. The height wise option does not change, its height divided by height. So if they were to ask you which option is better, if they have given you some units, given you some dimensions, and they say you must check how many boxes would fit in on option 1, which is packaging method 1, what you were going to do was to divide the length by the length, divide the width by the width, divide the height by the height, and then multiply all those boxes. The number of boxes that are aligned on the length, the number of boxes that are aligned on the width, the number of boxes that are aligned on the height, and then you will find the total number of boxes that are on the large box. So if you were to calculate for option 2, which is packaging method 2, you will divide the length of the large box by the width of a small box, then divide the width of a large box by the length of a small box, then divide the height with the height, and then multiply the number of the boxes that are on the width, the number of boxes that are on the length, the number of boxes that are on the height, and then see the total and then compare them and verify which option is better. So that's it there. There is nothing difficult about it. What is very much important for the class to understand when you're working with packaging is that you have to verify, you have to understand length, you have to understand height, you have to understand width. If you do not know how to identify those dimensions, I do not believe that you could get it right. So if we were to discuss about tins, if we were to discuss about the tins and cylinders, it is very much simple. It is also very much simple. The tins and those kind of things are also very much simple. On the width-wise of a cylinder, let's say we're discussing a cylinder. Let me fix my pen. If we were to say that we will discuss a cylinder or a tin, a cylinder, which tin, or a can, how do you peg cans on a box? You have to understand that there's a length on the lengthwise option. On the lengthwise option here, the diameter of a can or a tin is pegged along the length of a large box. Let's just say a large box, meaning the calculations here would be length of large box divided by diameter of cans or tin. Diameter of a can or diameter of a tin. So on the widthwise option, here, what you have to understand is that the diameter of a can is pegged along the width of a large box. So here the calculations will be width of large box divided by diameter of a can. So on the height option, the height wise option, it does not change. You divide the height of the box by the height of the can. It's very much simple for you to understand. So if you do not understand what length is, if you do not understand what length is, if you do not understand what, okay, let me just give you the definitions. A length is the total distance, the distance of an object from one end to another. That's what length is. So when we're talking about, we've also mentioned the diameter. It's very much important for me to highlight those kind of things. Diameter is the line between the circumference of a circle. I believe you understand the circumference of a circle. Let me try to show you a circle such as this one. On a circle, this is the circumference. Circumference. Circumference is the line that binds a circle. So when we talk about diameter, we're talking about this line. This is the diameter, the line between the circumference of a circle. Then when we talk about radius, we're talking about the line between the circumference of a circle, the line from the center to the circumference. This is the radius. Very much important information that I wanted you to understand. Thank you very much for joining this class. I believe I will make a video about the calculations of these methods so that you can understand them better.